Today's workshop is part of the Parentune Plus membership program where we curate specific support to help parents. In this newly launched Parentune Plus program, you can expect focused expert interactions, consultations, and workshops. You can avail all of this with a Parentune Plus membership at an inaugural offer of only $4.99 for the whole year. Manna, I'm now going to take some questions that we have received from parents, and then we can go on
Sure.
with the presentation. The first question comes from Sumedha Pawar, who says, "My baby is 4 months old. I do not understand when to stop feeding him, how to make out he is full or not. He vomits out at least once in a day. He would keep on sucking milk. His weight is also less. He's 4.1 kgs. Please guide me on this. 4 months, 4.1 kgs."
Sumedha, I would like to say one thing that one is that yes, you have said that the weight is, we do not know the birth weight of the baby, but yes, 4.1 at 4 months is a little less weight. I will not say it is drastically lower, but it is, yes, it is a little lower weight. But at the same time, you have to continue with exclusive breastfeeding. Please increase the breastfeeding frequency. Feed your baby more often. Try to feed your baby at night also, and after feeding, always make sure that you burp your babies. That means you pick up the baby and put it on your shoulder and very gently rub on his back so that the baby burps. And as I said earlier also in my presentation, that vomiting is where the complete milk comes out. Whatever the baby may have taken, everything comes out. Whereas here, if there is just few droplets, we can say, of few milliliters of milk that comes out, we do not call it as a vomiting, but that means the baby is gulping the milk too fast. So what you have to do is that one is you have to make sure that the baby, it could also be that the milk supply from your breast is very rapid, so there also you have to pace your breastfeeding. Pace it means that if you feel that the milk is coming too rapidly into the baby's mouth, then just control it for some time, and then so that it becomes little less, and then again start feeding the baby. This way the baby will get time to digest the milk, gets time to take the milk also, and plus he will spend more time on the breast. And when the baby spends more time on the breast, the chances are he will get not only the fore milk, he will also get the hind milk. It is the hind milk which is rich in fat, which will help in the healthy weight gain of the baby. So make sure that your baby spends at least 15 to 20 minutes on every in each feeding cycle. And if it is a possible, then he can spend 15 minutes on one breast, 15 minutes on another breast. That is also quite okay. But at the same time, I would like to say, do not switch over the baby very quickly from one breast to another, because by doing so, also what would happen is baby only gets the initial fore milk, which is rich in water, which is rich in proteins and nutrients, but not rich in fat. So we want baby to get all the nutrients, be it fat, water, proteins, nutrients, everything we want the baby to get. So therefore, it is very essential that you feed the baby for longer time. Another thing, you have asked for how long should I feed? I would say continue to feed the baby till 6 months of age. Since you're following this presentation, our next slide, we will be talking about how to know and when to start the solids for the baby. So there you will get an indications, and you have to wait for those indicators to understand when should I be starting the solids for the baby. So as for now, I would suggest that please continue with exclusive breastfeeding. Do not start with formula. Do not start with any. Only increase your number of breastfeeds, number of feeding times. Even if the baby sleeps, gently wake up the baby. Baby may be crying initially, but you have to train the baby for that and try to feed the baby. Also, possible, try to feed the baby at night as well, because at night time the breast milk supply is very good. There is increased prolactin production, and therefore there will be more of milk production happening at night. And it has been seen that babies who are fed at night for at least 2 to 3 times, they gain weight in a very healthy way. So that's another thing that you have to remember of feeding your baby at night as well. Okay, so what things you have to remember, Sumedha, is number one, continue with exclusive breastfeeding. Number two, feed your baby more frequently. Number three, let the baby spend more time on the breast milk so that the baby gets the fore milk and the hind milk both. Feed the baby at night also. After the feeding, please burp the baby. well, because that means it is not nothing to worry about it. But yes, some babies are able to digest the milk very easily, some babies are not able to. So we have to make sure that the baby digests his milk properly. Okay, but in your case, if the baby looks alert, baby looks active, baby is passing urine or wetting his diapers about 6 to 8 times, and passing stools about 3 to 4 times in a day, having good sleep also, all this indicates that the baby is doing well. But if there is anything else other than this, then you have to definitely take some medical advice. If you feel that the baby is not passing urine sufficiently, not looking alert, as I gave the signs earlier, then you have to ask your doctor about it. But if all these things are there, then nothing to worry about it. Continue with exclusive breastfeeding, right?
Thank you, Vandana, for those points. Vandana, I think Sumedha also wants to know.
Yeah.
So she also wants to know when to stop feeding him, as in while she's feeding him, she does not understand if the baby is full or not. So how does she understand that, and how does she stop feeding then?
Yeah. See, let that is what I am telling you, Sumedha. You let the baby spend good time on the breast itself, because when the baby's stomach is full, the baby will on its own leave your breast. So you will get an indication yourself. The baby at the end of the feed will give a very relaxed, his hands will start dropping, he will give a very relaxed look, his face would give a very relaxed look, his sucking will become very slow, very steady, and slowly he starts leaving. You don't have to pull the baby out of the breast, the baby starts leaving the breast on its own, which indicates that the baby is itself showing a sign that he is completely full and he does not want milk, or he doesn't want any other feed. At the same time, if in your own breast, you will be able to see that your breast also starts looking little emptied and little, there is, get that feeling of emptiness in your breast. That is also indicative that your breast is empty. Now, the moment if you get this feeling of emptiness, but your baby is still sucking onto your breast, then I would suggest switch over the baby to the other breast, put the baby onto the other breast, continue feeding the baby onto the other breast, and this will help the baby to get the feed from the other breast. Also, put the baby on that breast for the longer time. And again, when the baby himself leaves the breast, then that would be indicative that the baby is full. Usually, on an average, babies spend, again, I would say some babies are fast suckers, some are slow suckers. Some, like us, some individuals are fast eaters, some individuals are slow eaters. So, in your case, you have to see, maybe your baby is fast sucking, maybe your baby is slow sucking. But in your case, whatever I can understand or gather from your question, I can feel it is that the milk supply is little too rapid for your baby to handle it. And that is why the baby leaves the breast little too early, because the milk that is coming is so rapid, he cannot handle it. So there I would suggest that if you feel that the milk supply is rapid for the baby to handle it quickly, then just stop it for some time, put the baby on the breast again, and then again start with the breastfeeding. It may be a little longer time, but slowly and slowly, the baby will be getting complete hind milk also, which is very important for the healthy weight gain of the baby. Right?
Thank you, Vandana. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. We hope, Sumedha, you heard all these points. Vandana has given very specific point by point explanation to your question. Please write to us in case you have any more questions.
Yeah.
Vandana, I'll take one more question that's coming from Anjali Rai, who
Sure.
has a 1 year old, and she's asking her question in Hindi. She says, मेरी बेटी 1 साल की होने वाली है, वो मेरे दूध के अलावा कुछ नहीं लेती है, सब कुछ ट्राई करके देख लिया है, दूध नहीं देने पर रो रो कर बुरा हाल कर देती है, क्या केवल दूध काफी रहेगा उसके लिए 1 साल पर? अभी उसका वेट 7 kgs है.
Okay. Hi, Anjali. Anjali, I would like to say that at 6 months the baby, बच्चे को दूसरा फूड जो है वो देना बहुत ज़रूरी है. बच्चे को सिर्फ दूध पे नहीं रखा जा सकता. जैसे मैंने अभी कहा आपको कि दूध के साथ-साथ बच्चे को दूसरे आहार की भी ज़रूरत है, और वो आहार उसको फूड द्वारा ही मिलता है. इसीलिए 6 महीने के बाद बच्चे को हमें दूसरा फूड जो है वो देना बहुत ज़रूरी पड़ जाता है. आपके केस में अब आप बोल रहे हैं कि बच्चे ने बिल्कुल भी कोई भी सॉलिड फीड नहीं ले रहा और केवल दूध पर ही निर्भर है, तब मैं आपको बोलूँगी कि आप धीरे-धीरे करके बच्चे को कैसे भी करके आप इंट्रोड्यूस करें। चाहे आप 2 चम्मच वो लेता है, 3 चम्मच लेता है, 4 चम्मच लेता है, जितने भी वो ले, आप धीरे-धीरे उसको इंट्रोड्यूस करें, क्योंकि अभी आपके केस में क्या होगा, अगर आपने अभी तक कभी भी बच्चे ने कोई सॉलिड फीड कुछ भी नहीं लिया हो, तो अंजलि मैं फिर बोलूंगी कि आप इस टाइम पर अगर 1 साल का बच्चा हो गया तो यू स्टार्ट विथ थिन प्यूरीज फर्स्ट। थिन प्यूरी मतलब जैसे दाल को मैश किया हुआ है या बनाना मैश किया हुआ है, उसमें हल्का दूध डालकर मैश किया हुआ है, या एप्पल को मैश किया हुआ है, क्योंकि अभी तक बच्चे को चबाने का कॉन्सेप्ट भी नहीं समझ में आ रहा होगा, तो उसको ये भी नहीं पता होगा कि कैसे कोई खाने को चबाया जा सकता है। तो इसीलिए अभी आप थिन प्यूरी पे शुरुआत कीजिए। थिन प्यूरी करते करते अगर बच्चा फेंक भी देता है, रोता भी है, कोई बात नहीं, बी पेशेंट विद अ मदर, be gentle with the mother, don't worry, don't get stressed. Maybe in a day he may start with just 1 चम्मच 2 चम्मच, और धीरे धीरे आप देखेंगी कि शायद वो 1-2 चम्मच से 3 चम्मच हो गया, 4 चम्मच हो गया, और जैसे जैसे वो बढ़ता जाएगा आपको भी अच्छा। तो जब भी बच्चा बीच में खेल रहा है, तो दूध पी चुका है, दूध मत हटाइए उसका, क्योंकि अभी वो दूध हटाने के बदले आप उसको कुछ भी खाने का देंगी तो वो नहीं लेगा। तो दूध मत हटाइए, दूध के बीच में दो दूध मिल्क फीड्स के बीच में जो गैप आता है, समझिए अगर 2 घंटे का गैप है, तो उस गैप के अंदर आप बच्चे को थोड़ा सा सॉलिड फीड देने की कोशिश करें, जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया थिन प्यूरीज है वो सब आप दीजिए। एक और चीज आप कर सकती हैं कि आप दूध जितना बच्चे को दे रही हैं, वेदर इट इज योर फीड और वेदर इट इज अ फॉर्मूला फीड, whatever that you are giving, try to give it little less। मतलब अगर आप ब्रेस्ट मिल्क दे रही हैं तो आप उसको थोड़ा जल्दी धीरे से उसको हटा दीजिए, ताकि बच्चे में थोड़ी सी भूख बनी रहे। सेम वे विद द फॉर्मूला मिल्क, अगर आप बच्चे को 150 ml दे रही हैं तो 150 के बदले आप उसको 125 130 ml मिल्क दीजिए, ताकि ये जो थोड़ा सा दूध बच जाता है जो आप नहीं दे रही हैं, वो आप उसको 1 या 2 चम्मच बनाना फीड दे सकती हैं, एप्पल प्यूरी दे सकती हैं, कुछ भी ऐसे करके आप उसकी डाइट में सॉलिड्स इंट्रोड्यूस करना है। दिस इज समथिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट अंजलि, कि आपको कैसे भी करके धीरे धीरे बच्चे को नए टेस्ट, नया फूड जो है वो शुरुआत करवानी ही है और शुरू करना ही है। दिस इज समथिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, यू हैव टू बी वेरी ग्रेजुअल, वेरी पेशेंट, धीरे धीरे करना है। और आप घबराइए नहीं इस बात को लेकर, लेकिन धीरे धीरे शुरू करिए, और छोटी छोटी मात्रा में, कम कम अमाउंट्स में आप शुरू करें, एंड देन यू विल सी दैट slowly your baby is getting adjusted and accepting that food, right?
Thank you, Vandana. In case you're finding this workshop helpful, you could subscribe to Parentune Plus membership, which brings to you Plus lives and workshops with the value, savings, and more benefits. Vandana, let's move on to the next slides. And
Yeah.
could you just tell us what all will the parents be learning from these now?
Yeah, as we look at the strategies, we said that from the strategies aspect of how to understand, how to make sure that my baby gains weight healthily. There we said that it's the first thing I have like already told you, and again I'll be repeating, is that the breast milk is something which is very important, one of the key factors in making sure that the baby gains weight healthily. And then after that starts is that at 6 months, the mothers have to introduce what we call it as the solids or the complementary feeding. So from this onwards, what I would be taking up is about this introducing solids, what is the right time, how to know what are the ways, or what are the indications that the babies give that they are ready for the solid feeds. And nowadays, since there is a lot of latest concept which has been flowing in the market and people are talking a lot about it, and I would also like to touch upon this, is because in a lot of my practice also, I get to hear mothers asking about the baby-led weaning. So what is this baby-led weaning? How do we understand this concept of baby-led weaning? So when, how, what type of foods to give, what are the healthy foods that we can give, what are the breakfast ideas that we can introduce, what are the finger food ideas that we can give to the baby, all this would be included in now coming presentations, right? So now we start with the strategies. The first thing, as I said earlier also, I'm repeating, breast milk is the best till 6 months. Please understand, mothers, it's the fat content of the breast milk is much higher, much better, and quality wise it is much better as compared to that of the formula milk. Quality wise means it has got some brainy fats which we do not get to see. The way the brainy fats are present in the breast milk, that can never be matched with the brainy fats which the formula milk may be containing, but in an artificial manner. Here it is present in a natural way. The proteins that are present in the breast milk, they are actually containing more of whey, less of casein, as a result of which it forms softer curds, so that it's easy to digest, causing less of colic, less of acidity problems. Whereas the formula milk it contains more, it has higher percentage of casein, which forms hard, tough curds in the baby's stomach, as a result of which the digestion is very bad. Plus, in addition to this, the breast milk contains certain immunity boosting components like lactoferrins, lysozymes, IG globulins. So you name it, and there are so many of them which are present, which actually help in boosting baby's immunity, helping baby to fight infection, helping protecting the baby from the infection, and also protecting the baby from various allergies. Plus vitamins and minerals, when we look at it, then breast milk meets the nutritional needs of the baby. So whatever nutrients that are present in the breast milk, this is just as per the nutritional requirements of the baby. But from 6 months, what happens is baby's needs for iron increases, baby's need for other nutrients increases, which are not to be matched completely with breast milk. And that is why that is the time when the mother has to be introduced to the other food. Now, the question comes, why do we say at 6 months? At 6 months, because baby's tummy is still very weak. Is weak means that it's in the sense it cannot filter out all the allergens. It cannot filter out all the components which the baby cannot digest. So, therefore, the baby may show some kind of food intolerance, food allergies if the food is being presented to the baby before 6 months. He may not accept the food at all. So another thing is babies are born with what we call it as the tongue thrust reflex. Now, tongue thrust reflex is a natural reflex which actually reduces by 6 months of age, where the baby cannot, he can just suck the milk, but swallowing is not there happening. So therefore, this is just reflexes there so that it prevents the baby from choking. And this reflex, therefore, if this reflex is present, then if the baby is given the solid food or even a thicker puree, like we can see it in the picture, even a thicker puree is being given, the baby may not be able to swallow it down. He may just throw it out. It's only by 6 months that this tongue thrust reflex gradually reduces. Difficulty in swallowing because the baby's tongue, baby's muscle coordination is still not fully developed, so baby is not able to fully swallow the food. Therefore, all this development happens by 6 months of age, and that is why we say that the baby is ready for the solid feeds. And finally, only if the baby is able to sit with support, then it indicates that the baby is ready for solids. No sitting, no taking solids, because if the baby is lying down and the mother is trying to feed, the baby will just throw it out. You have to always remember, as you can see it in the picture clearly, the baby is sitting. Once the baby is sitting, happy looking, the baby giving you indications as to that baby is ready for the solids. So next slide, I'll just tell you about uh, the signs to know if the baby is ready. This is something which I was talking about, is the baby led weaning. That let the baby decide when he or she is ready for solids. Baby led not only means this, but also includes not only when, how much to eat, when to eat, what to eat. Everything is decided by the baby. That is why it is known as baby led weaning. Now, the signs to look out for are: number one, babies around 6 months of age, because as far as the developmental milestone is concerned, we expect that it is only by 6 months of age that the baby is able to sit with support. Then, secondly, baby watches you very closely. If in the previous slide, if you can just look at the picture, just look at the sign. The baby is looking at the mother very happily, very keenly. And then when the baby is looking at mother very keenly and baby is showing interest, you can see from the eyes of the baby that baby is showing interest in the food. At the same time, if suppose the mother is eating, then the baby starts mimicking the eating behavior of the mother. He also starts rolling his lips and rolling his mouth. And then, if the mother is eating in front of the baby and she has some food in her plate, the baby will try to grab the food from the mother's plate. So, all these signs are the indications which the baby is saying that he is interested in the solid feeds. So, therefore, baby should be around 6 months of age. Baby should be able to sit with support. Baby watches you very closely when you are eating, mimics your eating behavior, and tries to reach or grab for the food that you are eating. All this is so many indicators that baby is telling you, Mama, I want food, so give me the solid feeds. This is what you have to look out for. Okay. Now, next question that comes to the mind is, what should be the first food? baby-led weaning. But then you have to offer the choices and then let the baby choose which of the foods the baby wants to pick up. So first thing, the choices I can tell you for the mothers is that all babies are born with sweet tooth, plus the breast milk itself or even the formula milk if the baby is on, even that is little sweeter in nature. Therefore, they enjoy, they're used to sweet food. So therefore, they would prefer to have the sweet foods. That is why we say start with cereals which are slightly sweet, some vegetables and fruits which are slightly sweeter, they are the ideal first food for the baby. Fruits are more sweet than the vegetables, so therefore we say start with fruits, and it's always a better, a safer idea to start with. So, which of the foods come under this category? Foods like rice cereals, apple puree, mashed bananas, carrots. Why I said carrot? Because carrots are a little sweeter. Pumpkin, yellow pumpkin, boiled it, steamed it, mashed it, slightly sweeter. Sweet potato, very sweet in taste. All these can be given either in the puree form, in the soup form. I would say you can give both purees and soups and gradually shift to the other fruits and vegetables because these are the ones which we say is something least allergenic, easily tolerated, best taken, and best enjoyed by the baby. Always follow a 3 day wait rule. What is a 3 day wait rule? 3 day wait rule is that today, suppose if I have given apple puree to the baby, tomorrow again I will give apple puree. Then today being a Saturday. Saturday I gave apple puree for the first time. Sunday I gave apple puree second time. And then on Monday I gave apple puree for the third time. So 3 days continuously I've given and I saw my baby enjoying apple puree very well. No signs of any intolerance being or allergy being seen. Then on the fourth day, I start with mashed banana. Okay, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I give mashed banana. And then I know my baby already tolerates apple puree well. So what I can do is I give mashed banana once and two times I give apple puree. And then I continue with mashed banana for next 2 days. And I in my list I get to know my baby is taking mashed banana very well. He's also taking apple puree very well. Same way with the other foods. So try maintaining a food diary initially. Food diary is something very important. Food diary is something where you just record, as I told you just now, that what type of food has been given, in which form it has been given, and what was the reaction of the baby to that particular food. And then at the end of 1 week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, you get a list. Oh wow, my baby is able to take infant cereals, he's able to take apple, he's able to take banana, he's able to take carrot pumpkin, he's able to take sweet potato. So you have, or if you have started with some mashed dals and all that, so you get a whole list of foods that these are the foods which my baby can eat, and he had not shown any kind of reaction, any kind of intolerance. So that means my baby is taking these foods very well. And then gradually you start introducing more different types of foods. Yeah. Then next question that comes is how and how much to give. Again, here how to give, it is mom's own finger which can be the first spoon for her baby. Why we say mother's own finger is so important? Because that warmth, that love, that feeling of that coziness that comes up, only that kind of love and affection comes up when mother feeds herself with her own finger. Just making sure your finger, your nails are completely trimmed, cleaned, your finger is completely washed and cleaned, and then just scoop out one any of the pureed food and a small scoop of this on your finger. You can place it on your index finger and very gently place it into your baby's mouth. That is how you can get introduced to the first food for your baby. Simple, easy. This is how our ancestors also started. This is the tradition which we have to continue. So please remember, this is the most beautiful way and the most loving and affectionate way of introducing the solids to your baby. Start with very small amount and gradually increase, and always watch for the baby's reaction to it. He may spit out the first time, he may not. If he spits out, don't get worried. Oh my God, that means it is intolerance. Is he allergic to it? No, no, no. It is only that first time he is getting something new. He doesn't know how the taste is. First time banana has been put into his mouth. How will he know how the banana is going to taste? So therefore, you've just introduced. He may like it, he may not like it. He may find it very indifferent. He may like it something very strange. That could be also the reason. So there is nothing as allergy or intolerance or anything. So don't get worried if he spits it out. Or maybe the tongue thrust reflex is not fully developed. That could also be the reason he cannot swallow it. So he's just took you. So you have to just wait for 1 or 2 days and then reintroduce the baby to the solid feeds. Okay. This is all part of baby led weaning. Why baby led weaning? Because baby is only deciding he likes it, he doesn't like it. He wants it, he doesn't want it. This is how we have to look into it, that you have to understand baby's cues, baby's indications, baby's signs, what he is trying to tell you when you start with the weaning or the feeding process. Start with very small amount, like I would say half a finger at a time, giving twice a day, and then keeping a gap between milk and solid feeds. As I was telling Anjali also, Anjali, to you also, you can just look at this way, that give very small amounts and keep a gap between the two. When the baby is playing, baby is happy, that time you can start with it and start introducing the solids to your baby, and let the baby only decide how much he wants to have, and also what he is enjoying, what he wants and what he doesn't want. Let the baby be deciding. I am telling you again and again, this is the best way for the baby to learn, to inculcate those healthy eating habits in the baby, is for the baby to decide how much he wants to eat, when he wants to eat, and what all he wants to eat. Yeah. Now, helping babies gain weight. Coming to that topic now, again, the weight gain, as we said, at 6 months, as we had just now got question also from one of the mother, she also said that the baby is not gaining and the baby is just on breast milk. So what should I be doing? As I said, offer foremilk, offer hind milk. Okay, you have to, when we say offer foremilk and offer hind milk, it means that you have to breastfeed your baby for longer time. Breastfeed the baby on both the breast, breastfeed the baby for at least 15 to 20 minutes, making sure that the baby gets both the fore milk and the hind. Fore is, as I said earlier, I'm repeating it, fore milk is the initial milk which comes from the mother's breast when the feeding session gets started. Immediately followed by that becomes a thicker milk which comes, which is rich in fat, and that is why if the baby is kept on the mother's breast for a longer time, the baby will get both the fore milk and the hind milk, and that will help in the healthy weight gain of the baby. So let the baby spend good time on the mother's breast, feed the baby more often, and also switch over the baby. Don't not switching over very quickly, but switch over the baby from one breast to another only when you feel that one of your breast has become completely emptied, and then you switch over. If you switch over baby too quickly, then you are offering only fore milk to the baby. You are not offering the hind milk to the baby. Give feeds at night. This is something very important, and studies have indicated that babies who are fed at night are gaining weight healthily. So, therefore, feed. Make sure, even if you have to wake up the baby, even if you have to put up an alarm for the sake of your baby, for the healthy weight gain of your baby, it is very important that you feed the baby at night. Another thing, exclusive breastfeeding, as I have been saying, is very important. Do not start with formula milk thinking that my baby is not gaining weight on breast milk. There is nothing, nowhere anyone can ever say that breastfed babies do not gain weight. No, that is not correct at all. Breastfed babies gain weight in a healthy way, in a more natural way, which is what we want our babies to be like. So, therefore, it is, do not switch over to formula, do not switch over to bottle too early thinking that my baby is not gaining weight, so formula is the only answer. Do not do that. At 6 months of age, include high calorie fruits and veggies, like we said, bananas, pears, peaches, sweet potatoes, and avocados also. All these foods, when we are saying they're high calorie foods, please do not assume that these are high calorie means something like high calorie, which I would say is like a can of Coke, which we say is a high calorie. There is a difference between the two. This is high calorie, but at the same time nutrient dense also. It has got nutrition also. Coke, if I say, or any of the soda drink, if I say, it will have high calorie but no nutrition present in that. So, therefore, over here, I would say high calorie fruits means they are not just giving high calories, but also at the same time, these are providing good amount of nutrition to the baby, and this can be given to the baby more often, and how often that we have already seen. So this has to be given to the baby so that we can help the babies gain weight healthily. Yeah. Now, coming to helping babies gain weight from 6 months to 12 months, then we can say we have to offer small, frequent meals. We have to include high calorie foods, the same which I had said earlier, that amounts we have to make sure. When I say over here again, banana pears, in the earlier case, they were given as exclusive foods. One feed was just banana puree, one food was just this thing, pear puree. Here now, once you know that your baby is 7, 8 months old and you have the food diary which says that your baby is tolerating banana very well, pears very well, peaches very well. Now, what you start doing is start mixing it in different foods. This way, you would be increasing the calorie content of those foods. I give you an example. For example, if you are making sweet potato, your baby is taking very well, your baby is taking dal very well, then in that dal, you can thicken it by adding little bit of sweet potato. So what will happen is dal will taste also good, will have more nutrition, more calories also, and will become a healthy food for the baby. This is how you can do these kind of combinations of adding these high calorie fruits and veggies to the other foods. Also, start from 8 months of age, we can start including whole dairy like cheese, yogurt, all that can be. Cheese means we can start with the pasteurized cheese, which can be started with cheese slices, which are available under different brands, that can be started with. Homemade, I would say always go with the homemade dahi, and the homemade dahi which has been made fresh, kept at room temperature, that can be given to the baby without adding any salt, without adding any sugar to it, no honey to be added, no honey to be given before 1 year of age. So therefore, just give it in its natural form. All these foods, please give it in the natural form, and they will be the ones which the babies are going to enjoy and will get to know how the natural taste of dahi is. We want that to happen. So therefore, it is important that give it in a natural way. Also, if you do not want to give cheese, the homemade paneer can be given to the baby in different form. You can make paneer at home and that can be given to the baby. Try adding other things like boiled potatoes or boiled pasta or infant cereals or powdered nuts to various foods. Like you're making khichdi for the baby, in that you can add it. You are making any rice preparation for the baby, in that you can add it. You are making any kind of, let's say, soup for the baby. In that you can just, while making soup, you add some potato also, add some pasta also, and then boil it completely and then grind it together, add some powdered nuts to it. All are These are some of the ways in which you are adding all these things which are adding on to the calorie content of the food, but at the same time in a very healthy way. It is not by adding sugar and fat just which we should say. It should be in a healthy way. And then by 10 months, 11 months, you can start adding small amount of butter, small amount of ghee to different recipes. Not too much, not fried foods, not heavy, too much of oily foods. Small amount of this can be added just to add on to the taste also, make it more appealing, appetizing, plus increasing the calories also. For 1 to 3 years, again, I would say focus on these foods because these are high calorie foods. Focus on foods like whole dairy. Do not go with low fat milk or low fat things for the baby. Go with the full fat milk for the baby. Go for the proper paneer, which is made from full fat milk, and the dahi, which is made from full fat milk. That should be used in different and then you can add these to different recipes. How you can do it? Now, if you look at it, banana is something which is a high calorie food, and at the same time it is rich in potassium and rich in fiber, so it is something very good, healthy food for the baby. So what you can do is just mix banana and yogurt together and you are giving a high calorie but a nutrient dense recipe to your baby. So this way you can do different kind of combinations. Add boiled potatoes, infant cereal, oats, ragi, different type of grains you can introduce now, because from 1 year onwards, if the baby is taking wheat very well, you can now introduce the baby to variety of different grains. And lastly, from 1 year onwards, it becomes very important that you make the recipes more interesting by offering more of finger foods. In the coming slides, I will be telling you about what finger food ideas you can have. Offer variety, offer food in small amounts. If you remember, if you have been with me right from the beginning, I said it is from 1 year onwards that baby starts showing tantrums when the food is being given. So therefore, it is very important that at this time When you introduce, when you start giving foods, offer them in a very attractive manner, offer variety, offer it in a very attractive manner. It is sometimes, in some literature, you will see where people say that you have to actually market the food to your baby. You have to make sure the baby, how a marketing guy goes out and sells his product and make sure that the client is happy with the product. Same way, you have to market the food to the child. How can you market it? Offering variety, offering it in attractive manner, making it colorful, making it look very attractive. That is how you have to offer or market the food to the baby. Yeah,
Thank you so much, Vanna. Vanna, I'm going to quickly take a couple of questions before
sure.
we move further. So, we have a question from Aditi, who has a 11 months old child and is also expecting a second child.
Okay,
Aditi says, Ma'am, my child is 11 months old. I'm again 1 month pregnant. Can
okay.
I continue to breastfeed my baby? If yes, till how long?
Yes, Aditi, you can continue to breastfeed. There is nothing wrong in that. But I'm sure that, and I hope that you have also started with the solids, and the baby is also having solids. So, yes, you can continue with the breastfeeding. Only make sure that you eat well, you eat healthy, eat small, frequent meals, and do not keep starve yourself, because now your needs have increased. You are no longer just a lactating mother, you are also a pregnant mother as well. So your needs have now definitely gone up, and that is why it is very important that you keep take a good care of your health. Now, coming to weaning, what I would say is let your baby decide till when he, or let you also decide till when you both are comfortable with the process of breastfeeding. Uh, as long as both you and your baby are comfortable with breastfeeding, you can continue on. I would say easily it can go for another 3 to 4 months, that you can easily breastfeed your baby also, and very gradually then you start weaning. And because it is only, why I'm saying after 3 4 months, because after 4 months, one is that the baby has already completed 1 year. Secondly, immediately after completing 1 year, the thing is that the baby starts crawling, not only just crawling, picking up things from the floor, picking things and putting them in their mouth. They are more active, they are touching a lot of objects, doing a lot of, doing a lot of activities. As a result of this, the chances of the baby getting infection is little higher after 1 year of age. And the breast milk that you would be providing to the baby, it may be like a tonic, and therefore it will be preventing the baby from infections and allergies. So what you can do is that after 2 or 3 months, you can easily continue to breastfeed for 2 to 3 months. After 2 or 3 months, what you can do is that you can gradually and slowly, you can start weaning the baby and introducing the baby to the other milk. And if you can even give one breastfeed for at least next 5 6 months, it will be just good for the baby, because it will be like only a tonic that you are giving to the baby. But very important thing, Aditi, take care of your health, eat well, eat healthy, eat more often. Okay.
Thank you, Vanna. Vanna, we actually have less than 15 minutes left and we have a
Okay,
couple of more questions.
sure, sure.
So I'll take Kriti Guhar's question, who says, my twin girls have very low weight. They are just 6.2 kg and 6.5 kgs respectively. They're 1 year and 4 months old.
Okay,
They were born prematurely via C-section due to complications in my pregnancy. What
okay.
can be done to increase their weight? They do not eat vegetables, fruits other than banana, and just like to have Cerelac. Please suggest
Okay.
some tips to improve their appetite.
Yeah. To improve their appetite, I would say, since they like banana, they like milk, the best thing you can do is prepare different kinds of milkshakes, prepare smoothies. It is in these milkshakes and milk smoothies that you can introduce the things like by adding some dry fruits or nut mixture you can prepare at home, because now the babies are 1 year plus. Nut mixture can be something like, I would say, a mix of almond, equal amounts of almond, cashew nuts, pistachios, and walnuts, everything been ground together and powdered. You can also start using some of the seeds, and these seeds are like, we can say, you can go with pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, and flax seeds. These are also very important and very healthy in the weight gain of the baby. So therefore, you can prepare the seed mixture also, nut mixture also, and add these to these smoothies and any of the soups or any of the dals that you are giving. Now, you said that the baby is not taking food. You have to make sure that you offer the food in a very attractive manner. How do you offer the food in an attractive manner? Is that, let's say that you, because now they are 1 plus. So if you prepare something like a chapati or a paratha, make that chapati or paratha with an atta which is already containing some grated vegetables. So you're hiding the vegetables into it, add some nut powder to it, add some seed powder to it, add some milk powder to it, so that it will become, the calorie content can be increased. And then when you make it, after making the chapati, you cut it with a biscuit cutter of different shapes, like star shape, disc shape, whichever shape you can do. And then try to, that is what we say, serving it in an attractive manner. And that is how you can serve it to the baby. Offer more frequently. Let the baby refuse it. Don't force feed it. Don't, if the baby starts crying, say, okay, I'm leaving it. You want to eat, you eat. You don't want to eat, make it different, colorful. Colorful means you can use beetroot purees, you can use carrot purees, you can use spinach purees, you can use tomato purees. Like giving rice, you can prepare tomato rice, which will give different color to it. So these are the different ways in which you can give variety, attractiveness, and color to the same food, but offered in a different manner. And the other things that I mentioned in my presentation, please follow that, of including all the other gradually. Like if baby is liking banana, baby is liking milk, you can start adding, let's say, pear to it, start adding some apple to it, start adding some mango to it. This way you will be adding some calorie rich fruits also in addition to banana.
Thank you, Vandana.